welcome back to the TBC. Today we are at Chapel House MG in Southport because I was so impressed with the MG3 Hybrid on the previous show that I decided to take a look at another car from this ever-improving and impressive manufacturer. Say hello to the brand new MG HS. This new MG model is from an SUV brand that once churned out spirited little sports cars beloved by enthusiasts and probably driven by your granddad on the odd Sunday. Fast forward to today and MG is no longer about smoking tyres and small roadsters, although I will be reviewing the new Cyberster in a later show. It's now about value-packed family crossovers made by the very sensible folks over in China, aimed squarely at people who'd love to own a BMW or a Mercedes, but crucially don't want to pay BMW or Mercedes money. And so they buy this thinking, yeah, that'll do the job. But here's the thing, the new MG HS isn't just good for the money, it's genuinely good. Before we take it out on the road for a test drive, let's explore the exterior, the interior and the tech. So let's start with the all-important looks. MG's designers have clearly been on a world tour of SUVs and brought back some ideas from their more successful rivals. The result is a car that at a glance looks incredibly sharp. Up front, you've got this massive grille that wouldn't look out of place on something German and very expensive. LED headlamps, yep. Slimline that wrap around the front, giving it a wider, lower appearance. And the lower part of the grille has a similar style to the MG3, and there's lots of chrome. The front end is sleek and sporty. Is it trying a bit too hard? Maybe, but in a likeable way, like a dog who's desperate for attention. In my opinion, the MG have done an amazing job on the front end styling. So far, so good. Side on, it's got the silhouette you'd expect from a modern SUV. Not too boxy and not too sleek, just the right middle ground for your trip to Waitrose. On the whole, the HS looks good from this angle. It's not going to steal any hearts on design alone, but again, it won't offend the neighbours either. I think it's a really good looking car. However, let's get one thing clear from the start. This car isn't trying to be premium in the same way I'm trying to be a ballet dancer. Sure, I can twirl around a bit, but eventually someone's going to say, hang on, that bloke's just spinning around in circles and he's broken 3 things already. Around the back, fairly inoffensive. You've got dual exhausts hinting at some performance, but we'll get to that later. A spoiler, sort of. But again, styling's really nice. MG are clearly improving with every new model. But here's where the MG really shines. Space. It's got loads of it. The boot is absolutely massive. And the trophy model benefits from a powered tailgate, which is nice. You can throw in a couple of suitcases, a family dog, and still have room for that IKEA wardrobe you promised you put together, but will actually leave in the box for the next 3 months. The back seats are big enough to fit 3 actual human adults or 2 adults and that friend who refuses to sit in the back without moaning. I've got loads of leg room. It's really comfortable. Yeah, impressive. Once inside, you'll feel like you've stepped into something far more pricier. This is lovely inside. It really, really is. Now, this is the SE model. This is the start model. It comes with cloth seats. However, later on in the show, we're going to take the trophy model out for a test drive, which comes with leather seats, electric seats. These are powered as well, wireless charging, and an 8-speaker stereo system. And safety isn't overlooked either. The HS has a 5-star NCAP safety rating, meaning it'll handle itself well should the worst happen. Not that you'll ever be driving recklessly, because frankly, you won't. Under the bonnet, you've got a 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol engine, which produces a respectable 160 brake horsepower and around 250 newton meters of torque, which sounds decent on paper, but in reality, well, it's more like a polite shove than a proper kick in the back. You'll hit 0 to 60 in around 9 seconds, which is about as quick as the queue at Greg's on Friday lunchtime. But no one's buying this thing for speed. You're buying it to haul the family to Cornwall, not to set lap times at Silverstone. Let's get to the crux of the matter, the price, and the MG HS undercuts most of its rivals by a good chunk of cash. You're getting a whole lot of car for your money. MG might not have the badge clout of, say, an Audi or a BMW, but it's thrown in an impressive amount of tech to get your attention. The new HS starts at an incredibly low price of just $24,995, and the trophy model DCT, the automatic, runs out at $28,995 plus metallic, and in my opinion, the one to have. Now the guys here at Chapel House have some attractive offers, and they can also arrange finance, and let me tell you, those payments are so ridiculous you'll feel like you've stolen it. Now it's time for a test drive in this lovely red trophy DCT. Just a shame about the weather. Before we set off, let's check out that all-important tech. There's a huge touchscreen which goes right across the dash. It's trying to look fancy, but you know that behind the glossy screen, some underpaid programmer is probably crying into his keyboard because MG forgot to tell him what the touchscreen was actually supposed to do. But it's a massive improvement from the previous model, which made you prod it like a caveman discovering fire, and eventually it would just give up and start playing the radio. And it used to lag terrible like an old PC booting up Windows 95. This new model has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can completely ignore MG's built-in sat-nav, which frankly you will, but the display is sharp and fairly responsive, which is really nice. Incorporated into this large touchscreen is a 12.3 digital instrument cluster, which is rather slick and quite fancy for a car in this price bracket. You can see all your vital stats like your speed and your range and how many more miles you've got to do before you need to fill up. Overall, it feels a bit posh in the way that Marks & Spencer's feels posh without being Harrods. MG's Pilot is their fancy name for a load of safety systems to stop you being, well, quite frankly, a complete idiot. It's got adaptive cruise control, which does all the speeding up and slowing down. It's got lane keep assist, which stops you wandering all over the road. And it's even got automatic emergency braking, just in case you get distracted by the touchscreen, which you will. Now, this is the trophy model, and this comes with a 360-degree camera, so you can pretend you're an F1 driver as you park between two Nissan Qashqais at Sainsbury's. But honestly, with all this kit, you'll forget you're in a budget SUV until you open the door and you look at the badge. Okay, so we're now behind the wheel of this fantastic MG HS, all new HS. So the one we're in at the moment is the trophy model, which is the top of the line, and I've got the DTC gearbox or double clutch transmission gearbox, and this will be the one I would go for. So with the trophy, you're going to get leather seats, heated seats, you're going to get that powered boot lid, you're going to get the wireless charging, keyless entry is standard. It really is wonderful inside. I really like it. Now I'm coming to a roundabout now, so it's a good opportunity to just test the handling. I say this isn't designed to go around the Nürburgring in record time, but let's just see what it's like around a tight little roundabout here. So let's do that now. I'm not going too quick into the corners. There's not a huge amount of feel through the wheel, if I'm being honest, and the suspension does wallow slightly. But that's the trade-off. If you want a softer suspension, you can't expect the car to handle as well. And I think MG have got that spot on, because you don't want it really firm ride. You want it to be nice and comfortable, which is what it is, comfortable. It's certainly soaking up the road undulations and the potholes really well. It's really comfortable in the car. Visibility is excellent all round. Steering wheel is lovely in the hand. It's got this squared off bottom that we've seen on the previous model, the MG3 Hybrid. It feels very, very premium inside. Dare I say, it feels very German, which isn't a bad thing. But here's the thing, you're not paying German money, you're paying MG money, which is unbelievable, because what you get for your money is outrageous. I can't recommend this highly enough really so far. So far so good, the drive is excellent. We're now cruising along on a national speed limit, and it's lovely and smooth, it's quiet. There's a little bit of road noise, but that's to be expected, I suppose. Overall, it's really comfortable. Just taking off on the lights, and the pickup is really good. And yeah, it's 9 seconds, well, just over 9 seconds is the official figure. But as I say, with an SUV of this caliber, you don't expect it to win any races. That's not what you buy. You buy it for its practicality, you buy it for its space. So you have got a plethora of safety features with the car. You know, like we said earlier on, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist. It really has got all the bells and whistles. Although sometimes you do get a lot of warnings that you don't really want, but you can turn them off. It's just got to go do it every time you get in the car. That's the only faff with it. The car's also got a blind spot monitor, so if a car comes in either side of your wing mirror, it illuminates in the wing mirror to warn you. That's another nice safety feature to have. What you find as you drive in the car is there's not many actual physical buttons. Most of it's done through the touchscreen, which is typical of modern cars these days. And you've got an air conditioning button and a home button to take you to the main screen, and you've got your controls from the steering wheel. But I prefer physical buttons, but that seems to be the way that everybody's going these days. And when you get in the car, everything's all set. All your safety features are set as a default, which is a nice feature to have, and reassuring as well, which is what most people will want with a car like this, with family in the back. What I've noticed in the car as I'm driving, I've actually transferred the map system to my digital display here, and that's a really nice feature. If you're going away with family somewhere you don't know and you want to use the navigation system that's built into the car, it's in front of you, and it is a nice feature there. So well done, MG, I like that. Let's talk about the double clutch gearbox in this car. This is the automatic Trophy DCT, a double clutch transmission, and it's smooth. The gear change is quite seamless. Very, very impressive again. For such a budget car, I can't fault the gearbox at all. It's wonderful. Okay, we're just going to test the braking system. So I'm doing 30 miles an hour. I'm just going to slam the anchors on. Make sure it's safe to do so. Yeah, it stops pretty well. It is wet as well, to be fair. Yeah, that's good enough for me. So here on the TBC, we do like to test the pickup on the car. So we're parked up, it's safe, there's no cars around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot down hard on the floor just to see what the pickup is like. I'm not expecting miracles in the car, but just so you can know what it's like, and so I know what it's like, let's just do that now. So let's floor it, see what it's like. Yeah, there's quite a bit of engine noise coming through the cabin. And change gear pretty rapidly. Yeah, it's impressive enough. I am really struggling to find any negatives with this new HS model. Is it a little underpowered? Maybe. Does it really matter? Not really. So the verdict, the MG HS is a pleasant surprise. It's not trying to be a hardcore off-roader or a performance monster. What it is, however, is a well-rounded, feature-packed family SUV that costs considerably less than its competitors. It may not quicken the pulse, but it does most things rather well, and it won't drain your bank balance in the process. So should you buy one? If you're after an SUV that delivers loads of kit, plenty of space, and a comfortable ride for sensible money, then absolutely, the MG HS Trophy that I drove is proof that you don't need a fancy badge to get a solid car these days. Just don't expect it to win any drag races. Is it trying too hard? Absolutely, but I kind of love it for that. It's like the Labrador of cars, eager to please, not the brightest thing in the world, but ultimately hard to dislike. Good boy, MG. Obviously, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out all the other videos on the Tim Bush channel, including the MG3 Hybrid on the last show. And don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching.
You have been watching the fabulous Tim Bush channel.